Hi, stamping friends. It's Sherry Parker coming to you live on Wednesday, November 5th. Happy November. It's almost Thanksgiving and then Christmas. Once it's November, I feel like the next couple weeks are crazy, busy. So tonight I have a couple fun projects for you for the holidays. And before we get started, a couple things to mention. November 20th, I'm having a Christmas class. It's $10. Make 3 projects. So you can sign up by registering for, with the $10. And then if you do place an order that night, you get product gift back from me. Secondly, I have scheduled another kit together for December 4th. It was so much fun, the first one. Guys, these kits are awesome. They're so easy to put together, awesome for Christmas gifts, or if you're traveling over the holidays, I'm telling you, it's really the way to go. So it's $30 for 1 kit, $50 for 2, $60 for 3, and then there on out, they're $20 a piece. It's just cash and carry, come, make them here, grab and go, whatever works for you. So December 4th, so put that on your calendar. And then also wanted to mention that I have no Facebook Live next week. I'm going to be traveling with my husband. We're going out of town for our anniversary. So thank you all for joining. I'm going to turn my camera around and we're going to get started. All right. In our holiday mini catalog, we've got on pages 52 and 53, the Snowy Delights bundle. You might have, it might have caught your eye or maybe not. I know we all love snowflakes and probably have punches or stamps, but this one in particular is nice. It's a little bit larger snowflakes, so you can do some fun things with this. So we're gonna use this tonight. I'm gonna make 2 different cards, and I hope you'll enjoy the presentation. And as always, if you comment on or share my Facebook Live videos, you're automatically entered to win the projects that I make every week. So this week is no different. I'll be giving these cards away the next time I go live. And if you missed the Facebook Live video, I always post these videos on my YouTube channel and they're there forever. Whereas with Facebook, they get deleted automatically after 30 days. But they are all archived on there. So hope you'll take a chance and view those when you have time. All right, so I mentioned the Snowy Delights bundle. There's a great stamp set here, die cut set, and then there's also masks that we're gonna be using here in just a second. So we'll be using those, and then also the Peaceful Garden glimmer paper. It's just gorgeous, and I think this really will enhance any project, holiday or not. So we are making these 2 cards tonight. You can see we've got a fun fold here, and then we have a basic, very elegant card with pretty much white on white with a big snowflake. So we'll get started on those. We're going to start with the fun fold. This is a really quick and easy one. So for this card, you are going to need a half sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and then you're going to score it at 1.5 and also at 5 3/4. Okay, 1.5 and 5 3/4. So that way it kind of folds in like this. Of course, you could alter these measurements slightly if you wanted your fold, to the right more or to the left. You can do it whatever way you like. So it's just a different way of folding your card, and it makes it fun for the recipient as well. In addition to, this is cloud cover, that's our cardstock we're using tonight. We're also using a couple pieces of designer series paper. So this one here, if it doesn't look familiar to you, if you turn it over, you'll see this. And what this paper is, it's the Celebratory Sips designer series paper. So the reason I wanted to use this is just to show you, look at both sides of the paper that you already have. These look like snowflakes to me. So I thought, you know what, we're gonna use this on our Christmas card. So just, another reason to kind of use what you have. So I've cut down some designer series paper pieces here. This one is 2.5 by 5 1/4, and that'll go on this panel here. And then this piece, this is from our In Color designer series paper. So you might have seen this pack. It's using kind of the Secret Sea color. And this little strip here is 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. So we will go ahead and adhere these to the front of our card to make our nice little, I'm calling it a gate. And I just love how our papers coordinate. So that's the really cool thing. If you forgot, on the back of all of our designer series paper packs, it lists all the colors that are used. So in the celebratory sips, cloud cover is used in this kind of snowflakey looking pattern. So I thought, I'm using that. For the inside, I'm going to put a piece of white, and then I thought it would be fun to put a little strip of the same paper on the inside kind of as an accent. And then just a stamp, we'll get this inside all finished up. In that stamp set, there's a really cute little snowflake. We'll stamp that in cloud cover. And then the greeting I'm going to put on the inside is sending you joy and many delights. So I love the script on that. It looks handwritten almost, doesn't it? So we'll put that on the inside of our card. Hi, Donna. Yeah, I like to use the paper that I have. I mean, honestly, I didn't have a lot of holiday designer series paper this year for whatever reason. One pack that I wanted wasn't available. So, you know, you got to get creative sometimes and just see what else you have in your inventory and use it. So we've got the base of the card ready to go. And now for the highlight, we're going to use, and I did pre-die cut this, so the snowflake die cut cuts like that. Isn't that gorgeous? And this is from that glimmer paper I showed you, and it's the cloud cover color. And that's gonna go on this white piece here, which is 3 1/4 by 3 1/2. And before I adhere that, I'm gonna go ahead and just stamp this greeting that says a warm hello in the little lower right-hand corner. And then what we'll do is go ahead and just put our pretty snowflake on top. And I'm gonna use glue and just put a little dab on each of these ends of my snowflake. A few little extra dots here. And we'll attach it like that. And then one final touch before we assemble the card is I'm going to use these wonderful druzy embellishments, the silver, and stick that right there in the middle, and it's nice and blingy. Isn't that so pretty? And then I'm going to layer that with the cloud, I'm sorry, not cloud cover, but it's Secret Sea glimmer paper. And we'll put that, put a Stampin' Dimensional in each corner. And we're almost done with our first card in the matter of minutes. I think that dimensionals adhere to the glimmer paper a lot better than other adhesives. So last but not least, we'll put a little strip of our adhesive on the front there, and voila. Isn't that fun? So easy. I did another version here, I'll show you, where I just kind of reversed out the colors. So I did a dark snowflake on a little bit lighter glimmer paper, so you can get the idea. It's the same real basic card, but you can just change it up a little bit by changing out the colors that you use. All right, so we got our first card done, and our second card is this one here, and this is a nice, I think, elegant card. We'll be using the same snowflake die for part of this, but also with that set come the masks. I've showed masking before on a Facebook Live video, but it's one of those things that I think is really good to show repeatedly because you can get some really, really pretty results. So I feel like our masks are really super simple to use because not only are they numbered, so it's probably hard to see on the camera here, but there's a number in the left-hand corner, but there's also a notch. So it makes it really easy to line up. So I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to take a piece here of just basic white cardstock, and I'm going to just tape it down. I've got some grid paper here, except I did it upside down, because you can see where I basically trace my mask. So I've got each corner and then the notch. So it makes it really simple to line up. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my first mask down. So the real fun about this is that you use your blending brushes and whatever ink colors you want to use. For this card, I'm only using 2 different colors of ink, and there's 4 masks. And you might say, well, why are you doing that? Well, I wanted to show you that you can achieve multiple colors just with 1 ink pad. So what I mean by that is I'm going to take my blending brush here, I'll put my ink pad here, and I'm using Balmy Blue, and I'm just going to go real light onto the mask here so you can kind of see. And you want to just, and I think it helps to tap it off so you don't get blobs. You don't have to do that. You could go directly, but you could get a little blob, just FYI. So I'm going real light on this first mask. Okay, that's probably good enough. And the nice thing is if you've taped everything down, thanks, Ronnie. Yeah, I think it's very elegant too. You can always go darker if you want. So this is really the look I'm going for, pretty light. So I'm done with my first mask. I'll set that aside, and then I'll grab number 2 and I'll line it up the same way. So I think it really makes it dummy proof if you do this with some background paper or grid paper, or whatever you have. That way everything lines up nicely. So I'm going to use my same blending brush in the Balmy Blue, but this time I'm going to go darker. Okay, so you're just applying a little bit more ink, and it's going to give the illusion of a darker color. But I'm using the same ink pad. So I did another version I'll show you here at the end where I actually used 4 different blues, 4 different colors. But I thought I would show you, how you can really achieve a nice look without having to use so many colors. All right, so I think I probably put enough there, but do you see there how it looks like there's 2 different blues? You've got your light, and then directly on top of that, it's the same Balmy Blue, but it looks darker. Hi, Karen. Yeah, I like snowflakes too. In fact, I'm wearing a snowflake sweatshirt that a friend of mine gave me, even though I'm not a big winter fan. But I do love snowflake stamps and craft materials because not only can you use them for Christmas, but they go into January too. So that's why I always like to have snowflakes on hand. All right, we've done mask number 2. Now it's time for mask number 3. We'll do the same thing. I'm going to move the Balmy Blue, and this time I'm going to grab my Secret C, and I'm going to go light. Okay, so this is my 3rd layer, and I'm going to just, Secret C is a really dark color, but I'm going to use it a little bit lighter. A lot of tapping, tap, tap, tap. Okay. So I'll lift that layer up, and then you see how you get that nice look there. And then last but not least, for the 4th layer, again, we'll use Secret C, but this time we're gonna go really dark. So it's a lot of fun. You can really just change up your colors and get completely different looks, which is what I love, because each one will look slightly different based on how much pressure you apply, how much ink, what colors you pick, and everything. And there you go. I'll put a little bit closer to my camera so you can see, but isn't that gorgeous? Just so much dimension and beauty there, and very simple to do. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do, these coordinate with the dies. Okay, hi Sheila. So I'm going to use this die here. This is the one that lines up with this one here. And I'm just going to kind of position it. And then before I run it through the die cut machine, I'll put my My dog just ran down here, if you heard that. Put some washi tape on there, and I'm going to cut this one out. Sometimes it makes the table shake a whole lot, so I did it off to the side there. But see, here's the end result. You got your nice little snowflake, and we're ready to make our card. All right, so set that aside. For the card parts, I've got a half sheet of 8.5 by 11, basic white, folded in half. I have a quarter sheet that's 5.25 by 4 of the basic white, and this one I ran through the eyelet embossing folder, which I think almost looks like snowflakes if you look at it closely. I've got a strip of the cloud cover, the glimmer paper, and then I've got a little, this is the die cut that came with this set here, this little holding device for the greeting. And then last, I've cut out a vellum snowflake using the same snowflake that I did on the last card. So this will be the rest of our card. First, we will grab the wrong thing there. Put some adhesive on that, run this across the back of our card like that. Looks like I cut it a little bit long, so I would probably trim that down so it's the same length. Okay, and then what I'll do is go ahead and put a Stampin' Dimensional on each corner. And we'll have our nice card. I love white on white. I feel like it's so elegant and pretty, especially with snowflakes. So that's our card base. And then what we'll do is use our snowflake here. We will glue this down, my vellum snowflake. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue in the center, like that. And then I'm going to use another druzy dot in the middle. And then we're going to go ahead and put that on our card. So I really love how this looks. And I'm going to really just put a couple dimensionals there. We'll put that on the front here. And then last but not least, in my shape that I've cut out here, a warm hello. And then I'll have that kind of tucked behind my snowflake. And if you wanted, you could stamp something on the inside as well, like we did on the last card. Sending you joy. Got little dimensionals everywhere. And then I'll put a little snowflake in each corner, and we're done. So which card do you like better? Do you like the fun fold that was pretty simple? Or do you like using the masks and having a really elegant snowflake? Thanks, Ronnie. All right, so that is this week's card or projects for this week. And again, if you comment on or share my video, you will have a chance to win these projects the next time I'm on my Facebook Live. So thank you for watching. Last week we actually used blues also because I love these blues. We made gift card holders, and we made this one right here, which is a card format where you just tuck your gift card holder in there. And then we did a box as well. So I was trying to show you can make it for the holidays, or you can make it for anything. The peaceful garden paper and bundle really, I think, is very versatile. So we'll draw from last week's names. If you put your comment on or shared, then your name is in here. First name is Connie Nelson. So Connie, I will send you this card. I'll probably need to get your address from you. So thank you for sharing and watching. And then we've got Angie Burke, and I will send you this cute little gift card box. So I appreciate everyone who comments on and shares. I thank you so, so much. Oh, thanks, Sandy. I love to hear what people like. And I do appreciate you sharing what you like. And if you make something like this, let me know. I would love to see what you come up with. So thank you again. Again, remember, no Facebook Live next Wednesday, but I'll be back the following week. And I'd love to have you join me for my November holiday class or for the December 4th Get Together. Just contact me if you'd like to sign up. And thank you again. Have a wonderful rest of your week and take care. Good night.